Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you guys everything that I'm currently working on throughout all of my project plans, all of my different planning projects and everything I've got going on. A couple of them are offline, some of them are just on Instagram, some of them are on here, and yeah, just go through basically everything that I'm currently working on and show you guys how much I'm working on at one time. My lack of wearing makeup is definitely making this a little difficult to keep up with. So, with that being said, let's get through it and show you guys all that I'm working on. This is correct as of the 10th of October 2023. So, my next update will be Deca Planning, which is on the 20th of each month. So, as of now, this is where we're at and this is what I'm working on currently, and things will always change. You know, tomorrow I might hit a plan on something and not work on it anymore. So okay, so I'm going to do this in sections. I'm going to do it on the category they are in rather than the project that they're in, and then when I go through them I will mention what project they are that I'm working on. We're just going to go through them category, and we're going to end with the eyeshadows because they are the most items that I'm working on. So we're going to start off with the rest of the stuff first and then end off with the eyeshadows. So let's get into it. Alright, so first up we have got the foundation that I'm working on. I'm only working on one foundation at the moment. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. This was recently rolled into my Project 50. This is in the shade Shell as well. So it's very, very new into my projects. Then also in my Project 50, we've got my concealer, the Soul Concealer at the moment that's in projects, and that is my Fenty Beauty Porcelain, which looks like this if you haven't seen it before. Yes, I think it's like halved in size since I started this project, so I'm not going to go through all the details of them as I go through all these items because there are a lot of them. Then in my Pan and Everything project that I'm working on, I have got this bronzer. This is the first of two bronzers I'm working on at the moment. This is the Vivid Baked Bronzer by Revolution in the shade Golden Days. It looks like this. This is a baked bronzer as well, so it's going to take me a while until I hit pan on this and then can roll it out and work on something different. Then the other bronzer I'm working on is also in my Project 50. This is my NARS Laguna bronzer, and it looks like this if you haven't seen it right now. This had not hit pan when I first rolled it into that project though. So then going on to blushes, I'm working on 3 blushes at the moment. One of them will actually be rolled out quite soon, which is going to be in my Deca Planning project. But the first blush to talk about, this is my Lord & Berry blush in the shade Lotus. This is in my Pan and Everything. This has been in my project for quite a long time, and we are beginning to see the rings. So in my Project 50 pan, I have this blush rolled in. This is my Revolution Makeup Ultra Blush palette in... The blush is called Hot Spice. I think it's quite obvious which one I'm working on, but I'm working on this one down here. This is the 6th shade in, and we are beginning to see the rings as well, which is exciting, and that's definitely a dip coming into play here. So yeah, I should mention that this is probably going to be quite a spoiler for any of my projects if you aren't up to date with them. But you should be up to date with them by now. Then the final blush that I'm currently working on, that will actually be rolled out relatively soon because I've already reached a goal for this, is my Nicka K blush in Romantic, which is this powdered blush that was in, or is in currently, my Deca Planning project, but I will probably be rolling this out in the next week or so, after the 20th. For the highlighters, I am working on 2 at the moment. We've got one that's in my Belgian Waffle palette. I'm working on, I believe, Powdered Sugar, which is the light shade down here. I think this is in my Pan and Everything currently. So that's the goal, is to try to hit pan on that. And then the other highlighter I'm working on is in my Project 50, and it is this Super Shock Cheek by Colourpop in the shade Monster. And the goal is obviously to finish this, and so we've got pan and we're still working towards it. For brows, I'm working on one item only, and that is my B-Brow Bar pencil in the shade Cinnamon Spice, and it looks quite light in the pencil, but to be fair, it does seem to fill out my brows and match my hair colour. So it does its job as it should do perfectly well. Brow pencil is in my Project 50, as is this eyeliner. This is a gel eyeliner in the shade Black Milk by Beauty Bakery. This is probably my least used item that I'm working on, because I'm just really bad at wearing eyeliner. I'm wearing it today because I forced myself to wear it. I try and wear it a couple of times a month. I know that this is probably going to be the only item that's going to be in the Project 50 that'll have been in there from the beginning. My Project 50, I'm doing it like a rolling pan, so like even if I've rolled in 50 items by that point, I could actually have more than 50 items that I'm working on in general, because some of them won't hit that goal before I reach 50 items. And this will probably be one of them. Even if I work on 51 items, this is the one that won't hit pan. So then let's go on to lips. We've got, firstly, this is the Bumble lip product. Is this by Colourpop? I honestly can't remember. I think it's by Colourpop. This has been in my Project Pan. This should actually be rolling out in like a couple of months, which is very exciting. But this is what I'm working on in that one. And I'm actually wearing it today as well. Surprise, surprise. Then we've got my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Prague. This may be in my deck of panning, if I'm correct. Then we have my Jelly Pong Pong. This is a lip cheek cream in the shade Fig Jam. This is in my Project 50 as well. We've got a nice little dip going on here. And then we've got two lip salves that are in my projects at the moment. We've got my Burt's Bees. This is in my Project 50. And then we've got mintbalm.com, which is in my Project Pan by Glossier. Then for skincare, we have got this. This is the only skincare item I've got working in a project. This is Sanctuary Spa Correct and Protect Hand Cream, and this is also in my deck of panning. I think that this will be rolled out relatively soon as well though, because it is getting close to the end. We go on to perfumes. I'm working on 3 perfumes at the moment. So we've got, firstly, DKNY Red Delicious. This is in my deck of panning. Then we have the Zoella Blissful Mistful fragrance. This is in my Project 50. And then we have my Liz Earle perfume. This is in my... Then the nail polishes I've got rolled in are the following. So I have this Colour Club nail lacquer, as it says on the bottle. This is in the shade Barely There. This is in my Project 50. Lemon Sucker by Hollow Taco. This is in my deck of panning. Also in my deck of panning, I'm going to get these confused. I think my deck of panning one is the one that's got this as well. This is Hollow Taco's shade Navy. Then in my Project Pan, I have got 2 nail polishes rolled in. One of them is the Highest Bidder by Hollow Taco, and the other one is Private Villa by Hollow Taco. So I'm working on 5 nail polishes at the moment, but that's not even the worst of it. It's very tricky to be working on 5 nail polishes at one time when you like changing nails every single day to a different colour. So having to remember to use those is quite tricky, not going to lie. Okay, now let's get on to my eyeshadows. I've kind of put these in piles so that they kind of relate to the projects that they may be in. I definitely have the Pana's eyeshadows and the Project Pan ones in a stack separate, so I know which ones they are. Firstly, we have my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This eyeshadow is in my Project Pan, and I'm working on the 24th shade, which is this purple down here. On the, what side of the palette is this? Or the right side. You'd think after like 15 years of making videos, I would be able to remember my right versus your right, and like the flipping on the mirror of the screen. I'm still confused by it. Then for Project Pan as well, this is the Norvina palette by ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills. And the eyeshadow in here is Dazzling, which is on the top row, second from the left, this one here. This will be an easy gimme, I think. These eyeshadows are so soft and flaky that I think that's going to be quite easy to complete. Then we have the Conspiracy palette, and this is also my Project Pan. I don't know why I'm saying that, well, it's obvious this stack is from that. And this one I'm using the shade Illuminati, which is this green shade at the bottom. You can see we've got a dip up at the top corner for it. I'm trying to put it in the corner so I don't get rid of the logo so fast, because I quite like the imprint of the logos in here. So that's why I put the dip purposefully in the corner. I really do like the packaging of this, by the way. Then we have the Sunset Horizons palette, and this has got the shade Flamingo in that I'm working on currently. It's got like a slight dip in it, but it's this shade, and yeah, it's very, very bright. You have to use it sparingly when you work on it, that's for certain. Otherwise you kind of get like a stain on your eyelids when you wear it. Then we have the Mercury Retrograde palette. This is by Huda Beauty. And in here I'm working on the shade Ultraviolet, which is on the top row. It is this purple shade here. And also, wave to yourself, guys. Wave to yourself. So those are the eyeshadows that I'm working on in my Project Pan. Then in my Pan and Everything, no, this is not Pan and Everything. Gotta get the correct project. This is in my Project 50. I am working on the third eyeshadow in this little trio by MUA. It's a merged trio eyeshadow called Emotions, and I'm working on the dark brown shade, which is obvious, I think, when you look at it when it's in focus, because you can see it's got a big old dip in it versus the other two, which does not have a dip in it. So yes, this is going to be in for a while to try and finish this. It's a task. So this next item, this next eyeshadow, is actually the only project that I am not sharing online anywhere. So it's not on here, and it's not on my Project Pan Instagram account thingy that I have. This is the Project Level Up, which I have been doing offline for the past year, and I've been working on the same eyeshadow palette for the past year. With that, I'm pretty much close to the end of getting there though. So this is it. This is my Blush Nudes by Maybelline. I had to use every single eyeshadow 2 times and hit pan on 2 eyeshadows. So the eyeshadows I had rolled in, or have got rolled in, was this one on the top row and this one here. You can see on the top row we did just recently hit pan on this one, so we're just waiting for this one down here to hit pan, and then I can call it a day and roll on to the level 3 of that project, if I do so intend to continue on that project, which would be I have to use every single eyeshadow 3 times and hit pan on 3 eyeshadows within that project. which will probably take a while as well. So I'm really enjoying doing that project. I just don't feel like it's very fun to share with you guys it, because it's a long period of just working on the same eyeshadow palette, and I'm always doing that enough with my Pan palette. Pan those eyeshadows. I'm working on 5 eyeshadows in here as well. So we've got my Naked Urban Decay Wild West palette, and I'm working on the shade Whiskey, which is the shade here, as you can see. It's probably the only eyeshadow in my palette that hasn't got any kind of like disturbance in it other than the one that I put pan on. So yeah, this one here. And it still doesn't really look like I've been using it very much, but I have used it quite a lot. There we go. Then we have my Lorac palette in my Pan those eyeshadows, and I'm working on, I've forgotten what number this is. 10, 20, 30, 31, 42, 43, 44, 45, 37. 37th eyeshadow. And it's this one here. It's next to the green that's got the pan in it. So this one, it's this brown shade here. We've got a nice little dip going on, and I do reckon it'll be an easy pan for me to get as well within the next month or so. So then we have my Pop Beauty Bright Up Your Life eyeshadow trio in Champagne Mocha, and the eyeshadow I'm working on in this one is actually the one that's in the middle. Easy to remember, the one in the middle, which is this kind of nude shimmery shade, if it will focus. Yeah, this one here. I would definitely call it a champagne shade, so the fact that it's from Champagne Mocha. Then we've got my Tartelette in Bloom. In here we are working on Smarty Pants, which is in the second row, and is the one here with the imprint of the logo pretty much gone. My final eyeshadow within my Pan those eyeshadows is my Naked Urban Decay Heat palette, and in here I'm working on the shade Lumber. It is the 5th one in from the right, so this one here. It's probably the only one that's got the most disturbance in the pan, and it's a stunning eyeshadow. We're nearly to the end, guys, don't worry. The next palette I'm showing you guys is currently the eyeshadow palette that I'm working on as part of my use every single eyeshadow in my collection challenge, which I probably started a couple of years ago now, in like 2021 I feel like I did it. I started it. I think it was my 2-year anniversary of it in July, just gone, and I'm basically I have every single eyeshadow in a list with a randomized number between 1 and 10 next to that eyeshadow, and I use that eyeshadow that amount of times and then move on to the next one, and the goal is to use everything that amount of times. So I'm currently working on this palette, and I've been working on this palette the entire year. I feel like I didn't think I was working on anything else. I feel like this was rolled in at the end of last year, or at least the beginning of this year. This is my Revolution Ultra Professional eyeshadow palette in Flawless Matte. This is what it's looking like currently, and we're currently on the 3rd row. We've just started the 3rd row here, and I think we'll be still working on this through until next year. Yeah, with my lack of wearing makeup all the time, it makes these very difficult to get through, especially when you have high numbers rolled into the eyeshadows a lot of the time, and this eyeshadow palette has certainly had like a lot of 10s and a lot of 9s, which takes a long time to wear your eyeshadow 9 times in a row. Yeah, not too surprised with the lack of progress in this project, but also I've got a lot of projects, a lot of eyeshadows, so equally hoping that some of my eyeshadows will finish before I even reach them in the list. That would be like the main goal. So that I do have less to work on in the future. But in my Pan and Everything, the eyeshadow I'm working on in there is this Little Shroom eyeshadow by MAC, which is looking like this. We do have a little dip on the go. Yes, this is what we're currently working on, and that is exciting, because then I have another one of these to work on after this one's done, so I can kind of guesstimate how long it's going to take me to use that one up after I've used this one up. I quite like trying to do that in these different projects. And then finally, we've got my NARS Skin Deep, which is also coming close to the end of its challenge. I've got about 38 more uses in this before I reach 1,000 uses. So this is going to be done super soon. And this is what it's looking like right now. Obviously, we're not going to have a dip in every single eyeshadow in that challenge, but the fact that all these eyeshadows now look very used is, like, honestly really pleasing to my soul. I do reckon we'll hit pan on this eyeshadow before the end, and potentially one of these two, but unlikely. I think this one's definite, but then the other two are less likely. But yeah, very happy with the progress with this eyeshadow palette in the last couple of years. And I will be doing it again, I think. I will probably do another pan palette afterwards and do the same sort of goal, either 1,000 uses or hit pan everything. I think that's the way to go for me, because I feel like that really kind of helps push me use it a little bit more. And there we go. That is everything I'm currently working on. It is a lot of things I'm working on, and there are only so many times, there's only so many days in the month, and there are only so many days that I wear makeup on a regular basis. So this is one of the reasons why I'm really going to try and maybe go down by one project next year and see how we go, because this is too hard for me to work on and get any sort of progress out of it. Like, you've seen how I have been with my Panos eyeshadows this year. It's just not really worked out that well. So maybe next year I don't do my Panos eyeshadows and just do the other projects, because they are more fun and they are all more variety. But I don't know, we'll see. I'll see how I feel at the end of December when I really pick and choose my projects for 2024. Alright, there we go. That is it. That is what I'm currently working on as of today, as of right now. This is obviously always changing month in, month out. So are you surprised at how many items I'm working on? Is this a lot, or do you reckon not enough? I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting to see everything that I'm currently working on all at once. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.